Hello, my name's Chris and today we're going to be showing you how to teach your dog how to do a bow or take a curtsy if it's a lady. Duffy, bend. I call it a bend. Good boy. Down. He did that bend from the stand. Duffy, bum up. But they can also learn to do it from a down position, so they jump into it. So we're going to show you both methods. Normally the easiest one to teach is when they are in the stand position. Simply treating hands slightly forwards and then back between them. Yes, good boy. So there, good boy. It doesn't matter at this time that his head's a bit to the side or anything like that, because they're going to get the idea. Elbows going towards the floor, bottom in the air is the position. It's actually quite a natural position for the dogs anyway. You'll see them in the morning stretching. They also do it when they want to engage in play sometimes. So they tend to do it anyway. It's just a case of putting it on cue. Good boy. Now the problems you may have, and I'll see if we can make Duffy have the problem, which often happens initially and where you've got to be quite fast with your marking, is that the bottom will fall to the floor. So preferably, if you can, get down with the dog. Hold your hand almost there, so you're keeping the dog in position. Good boy, if you need to. But even better, if you can, so the dog gets the idea itself, is get your click in really early, so before the bottom goes down. And again, a few trials, it doesn't matter if the bottom goes down. That's the beauty of clicker training. It's not going to ruin it. Once they've done that a few times successfully, then you're going to have no food. Yes, no food in your hand. And we have the bow. Duffy. Good boy. I'm happy that he hasn't come back out of position now. And he's like, oh, you want me to stay in this position? So we'll carry on rewarding him in that position. Excellent, good boy. Well done. So this, I call this a bend for Duffy, but it's whatever you want to call it. Curtsy, bow, bend. I find bow actually kind of is quite close to down, and as the positions are similar, then you might be better to try and different. That's why curtsy is quite nice if you've got a girl, but you're a boy, aren't you, Duffy? Now all I'm doing there, just, good boy, resting my hand on his bottom, and he's not collapsing. That's just if you want to build up to balancing something on the bottom. As I say, that's quite a fun trick. Good boy, he's comfortable with that. Excellent. Good boy. So this is Pippin. She's a little pug Shih Tzu cross, and she's never done the bow before. So I've got some food in my hand. Get her into the stand, and then just down. Oh, I'm going to click there, even though her shoulders are only just bent a little bit, just to say we're heading in the right direction. Really before she got, yes, very nice, Pips. Woohoo! Have you played this game? No, she says, I haven't, but I get it. Good girl. So from here, so I'm kind of going quite slowly. And she's probably not entirely sure what she's doing at the moment because she's enjoying the chicken. So from there, excellent, good girl. Come here, just so they can see properly. So the food is literally on their nose. They're in the stand. And she's actually staying in position already. Good girl, well done. Very good girl. So this time, Pips, we're going to see if we can have a go without the food. Obviously my hands, oh shit, I don't know, I'm not doing it without the food. Oh, good girl. So I'll get an extra early click in there because she headed down into that position. So I'm going to say, yep, that was exactly what we're after. Still gets the food, but afterwards. Oh, my rubbish click, doesn't matter. She still gets a treat. And I'll try harder next time. Come here, Pip. Oh, and I rubbish click again, Pips. Yeah, good girl. And as you can see, those two rubbish clicks made no difference. She says, actually, I'm staying in position, so I'm going to click you again. Good girlie, well done. So let's try that one more time. Yes, very good. Pippin's actually doing really well here. But as I say, sometimes you just might want to just right up in this area here. Ooh, she says tickle tickle. But that's all you need. It's just to make them aware of keeping their back end up. If they're sensitive to being touched, obviously that's not an option. Yeah, good girl, good girlie. Some dogs might go, oh, what are you doing? But no, Pippin says, I'm not going to do that. But as I say, the early click, yes, good girlie. And we did get that click just before you collapsed, and that again was just because I didn't have the food, so she's not quite sure what she's doing yet. Once they understand, and they're, good girl, they're consistent. She says, I'm doing it down. Yes, good girl. I'd start introducing your cue now because you've done it a few times. So whatever you want it to be. So if it's bend, start to say bend. Come here. As you do your hand signal. Bend. Good girl. Come here. Pippin's getting excited. Come here. Hop up. This is actually really good because this is quite often what happens. You think, oh, I think they've got it, but actually they haven't quite got it. So all I'm going to do, go back to food lure a couple of times, just say, no, this is the one we want. This is the position we're after. Good girl. Come here. Good girlie. Bend. Good girl. Well done. You nearly did a bum up there, didn't you? Very good girl. With the down, we generally teach that from a sit, and it's very similar. We're going straight down with the dog. Because their bottom's already on the floor, the chances are they're going to drop to the floor. But with a bow, it's actually a very, almost exactly the same positioning. But what you do is you draw them forward slightly before you dip. Therefore their body weight is leaning forward, and they're more likely to just drop their elbows, and you'll get that bend quite a lot quicker. So we're going to have you in the down this time. Down. Good girl. Good girl. You can actually see a bottom coming up there. Down. So it might just be a little twitch initially. And again, this is actually quite a bit harder for the little dogs to do. Down. Good girl. Very good, well done. You like that, don't you? You like that position? Very nice. Some dogs you actually need to move back into them a little bit, and that makes them jump their bottom up, but Duffy didn't. And there you saw he actually jumped up his front and then went down, but again I'd still click all of those because it's all movements of the back area to get the bottom up. If you've got it on cue from the stand already, it makes it a little bit easier because you can actually give them your cue. Good boy. So any rise of the haunch, he's actually, because he knows the behaviour, is picking his bottom up quite quickly. This little trick is quite a nice one if they've done a little trick display or anything. Take a bow or curtsy. It's actually quite a nice trick to teach most dogs really, unless obviously they've got any neck or back problems. But even sort of slightly older dogs can fairly comfortably learn this behaviour. Basically the rule of thumb is if your dog can do a stretch quite comfortably, then you can put it on cue.